116 Hotline. It's Sadie.
It's Valerie.
And this is Sutana. And welcome back to 116th Hotline. If this is your first time here, hello. If this is not your first time here, welcome back.
Welcome back.
We are a
trio
of
sisters.
And we like to talk about anything and everything
Under the sun.
Let's unpack that.
Yeah, we haven't said that in a long time. What?
That happened to me last
Technical difficulties.
We're so happy that you're here.
Period.
We're so happy to be here.
Yes. How are you? How's your
How are you
day?
doing?
How's your week? Because these come out every Monday. So how was your weekend?
How was your weekend so far?
How was your weekend? Oh, most importantly, I'm curious. What are you doing when you're listening to us?
Ooh, that's
Are
a good
you,
one.
like,
Cleaning.
Are you driving? Are you jogging?
What about you guys? Whenever you guys listen back, what do you guys do? For the most part.
I'm usually listening to it at work because it comes out at 7 p.m. on Monday.
And you're at work?
So I'm at work already, so I'm listening to it at work.
Well, for me, I don't listen to it when it comes out right away.
Because you already listened to it when you edited it.
Yes. So when I do listen to it, it's probably in the middle of the week. I normally do it on the way home.
From work?
From work.
I do too. So for the most part, I'm on the way home too, or never mind, 7 p.m. now. So what I do is I either go to the gym and like listen to it when I'm on the treadmill, or like I'm driving back, then I play it, and then I play it like throughout while I'm doing like
whatever
what I'm doing.
It's like background noise.
Yeah. But then I also want to watch it. So like sometimes I get stuck. I'm like, wait, I don't want to do this because I want to watch our like actual faces and reaction, and how you can watch it on Spotify now.
It has the video.
Now. I love it.
Yeah, I love it. There's an avenue for everyone to watch it.
Yeah, we can be watched on YouTube, Apple Podcasts,
everywhere,
Spotify.
Is it the same for Apple Podcasts too? A video
I think
shows
Apple
up?
Podcasts is just the music
it's
or
just
the audio.
It's just the audio.
Yeah, it's just
but then
audio.
YouTube and Spotify, it actually has the video.
Yes. Yeah. Correct.
Watch, because like
Absolutely.
I said, when you see our reaction and our facial expressions, it makes it so much better.
It ties it in all together.
And honestly, just as someone who avidly watches podcasts, I feel like videos just make it
like, and it gives you a little
visual.
It ties it all together.
Yeah.
It ties it all together.
Audio's still good too, though. I mean, if you can't get to it, of course, audio is good.
Mm-hmm.
Because you can just envision our facials.
Like, I feel like you use more of your imagination.
Yes.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have fake freckles on?
Mm-hmm.
You do? I was like, what the hell's on your face?
Anywho.
So I wanted to bring up something that has not really been lingering in my head, but just I've been seeing a lot of lately, and I wanted us to unpack that. So
let's unpack that.
Hashtag
let's unpack that.
I feel like those are side note before we actually dig in. What is like the first like one or two slogans that you think about when you think of 116? Go.
Devil's avocado and let's unpack that.
Mine is definitely let's unpack that.
Okay. Yeah.
We need to use it more often.
Those are our main ones.
The OGs.
Yeah. And then the big three.
Yeah. I feel like mine's is too. Devil's avocado and let's unpack that. And we used to say another one.
Let's unpack that used to be like our like main go-to.
Yeah.
But then is there another one?
I feel like there's another devil's avocado. Let's unpack that. And I feel like there's another one, but I can't remember exactly what it is.
I think you know what you're talking about, but it's not clicking right now.
It's not coming. Yeah, it's not.
Okay, so what I wanted to unpack and talk about is I feel like we kind of digged into this a little bit in our previous episodes, but digging kind of more into your career and career changes in your life, like in your 30s, or just like, I guess, whenever like you're doing a career change. Like, let's say, for example, I don't know if our friend is okay with us talking about this, but just for an example, we know somebody that she was in like the dental industry, and now she's going to school to become a nurse. So like that, like a career change like that. And I know she's been in like the dental industry for like quite some time, for like years.
Yeah.
And then now she's making the career change to become a nurse. So, you know, things like that. And I also know like just like, and even in like the content creation world, like influencer world, people who have had like a 9-to-5 job and then leave that to become an influencer, you know, or people that have like there's people who are like doctors and they like absolutely like hated it and they leave it. Now they're like freaking baristas, or, you know, they do like freelance art, you know, or something like that. Like just kind of diving a bit more into that and unpacking that more into you guys' thoughts on that. And then I guess, yeah.
Well, I don't know. Okay, so I feel like this is a common thing that I've been seeing, because I know that personally, like, when you go to school, right, you have this envision of what you want to become.
Right.
Or an expectation of what you think the rest of your life is going to look like. And then when you get out there in the real world, maybe you just don't want to be in front of a computer anymore.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And, you know, I feel like for people that switch industries, like sometimes I think you just get to a point in your life where you realize that this is not what I want to be doing for the rest of my life.
Right. And then what are your thoughts on that, Sadie, before I break off on Satana?
Well, I think I agree with that, but initially, like, my initial thought when you were talking about that is, I'm wondering, like, is it like one of those situations, like Satana said, that you went to school for this and you thought it's gonna be like this, but once you get into the actual industry, you're like, wait, it's not what I thought it was. So then, like, do they have like just like a shift of mind change, or is it like, I feel like it could be either way, like another person that if they were going for something, but then at the back of their minds they have been wanting to do something else, so they try to pursue that instead. I feel like there's a lot of, like, I mean, that's what I thought, you know, like, so I'm wondering, curious, like, do you guys have that type of like feeling? Do you guys have that feeling about like what you're doing now, like it's exactly what you wanted and you went to school for it and now you're good in it? Or do you always have something in the back of your mind where you feel like you could be doing something else with your life? You know what I mean? Because I'm trying to think about my thoughts and how what my take is on that for myself.
I think for me, I honestly went into nursing just because it was my backup plan. But I feel like...
What was your first plan?
My first plan was to be in sonography, which is like...
Oh, okay. Still in the medical field.
So still in the medical field.
Yeah.
But I think I believe that this career is meant for me and I am meant for it because I genuinely enjoy it 100%.
Yeah.
Like with everything in my heart.
Yeah.
And I think that I was just meant to be a nurse. Like, and now that I'm actually in it and doing it, I don't know if I could. I mean, who knows? Next year I might be like, I actually hate being in this field. But I don't think I would change where I'm at. But kind of branching off of that, we know somebody, which you probably don't know this, but the girl that did our eyebrows, she was a
nurse before.
A psychiatric nurse. She was a psychiatric nurse before she became a permanent makeup artist.
Really?
Yeah. See, so like, you know, whenever I hear stories like that, or when I see just people's like where they go and the different avenues they take, it kind of tickles my brain into like wondering their thought process, or kind of like you guys' thoughts on like things like that, because I'm like making that switch from she was a psychiatric nurse and now she does permanent makeup, which she's great at. She does a great job at it and she loves her job. But I'm like, dang, that's like, and just thinking like the thoughts of like, dang, like, do they have the feelings of like, dang, I went to school for all that and now I'm just gonna drop it and do something else?
For me, when I see those people, and I know a lot of people, especially in like my close circle, that did work like a 9 to 5 and then they made that jump to be like entrepreneur or whatever. And I think the first word I think of is like brave. Like they're brave, courageous.
Absolutely.
And when I think of people, like automatically I think of like Emily, I think of Sheena, the nail girl. I think of, you know, my friend Ked. She does like, she's a personal stylist. And I think of Aria, my friend that's a social media manager. Like those people that have gone 9 to 5s and then have made the jump or transition, or have given themselves, they believed in themselves enough to do the different path versus a traditional route.
So with those people, do you believe, I mean, I don't know, you might know because they're your people, do you believe that it's because this is that where they end up now is what they've always wanted to do in the back of their head, and versus a traditional like 9 to 5 type of
I don't know about Emily, but I know for sure Sheena, like I've had talks with her, she's like I'm happy where I'm at, you know. And then my stylist friend, like we talk a lot on Instagram, and she definitely, I mean, I told her like, you know, like I would love to do content creation like full time one day, you know. And she told me that, you know, at first it was hard, especially with kids, because she has kids the same age as I do, like Oliver's age. And she's like, it was hard financially to make the jump from 9 to 5 to be pursuing what you want to pursue. And she's like, but it was the most freeing thing ever. Like where like the weight is just lifted off your shoulders, where you don't feel heavy, you don't feel stressed because you're doing what you love. Right. And same with my social media manager friend. She's like, you know, transitioning like has been the most like authentic, like it feels like it's what, like Val said, what I'm meant to do,
what you're meant to do.
Like it just feels like they belong. And so I think it's very courageous and very cool. Like I wish I had the guts to do that.
Because that's like another thing that I want to like touch on, because it's like you're literally jumping from knowing that you're good at something, knowing that like I know how to do this job at the back of my hand, and to
like I know I have the skills
into going into job. Like, oh shit, like what if I'm absolutely fucking terrible at this new thing?
And you know what, I feel like there's also situations out there where people have done that, like they've jumped out of something that they went to school for, and it didn't work out. And that's okay. The biggest risk, and I think that's the biggest like risk and the fear of like it not working out. But but like you said, yes, that it's okay. At least you tried it. Like I always tell people that at least you gave it a try, and if it didn't work out, then it's okay. Then you can go back to what you know or explore other things. You know what I mean?
And like, I think like that comes back to like life is too short to be scared.
Yeah, to try something if you feel like you want to.
If you feel like you want to, because I feel like in this era of us, you know, grieving and losing people, like that's one of the main things. It's like, why are you so scared? Like who made the rules that you can't do that? Mm-hmm. Like yes, you know, it may be not as consistent money, but you can pursue whatever you want to do, and then like you said, be a barista on the side.
On the side, do something,
serve some tables. Like I don't know, do something to accommodate for that. But at least you're happy. Yes. And I think like most people that make the jump, they do the things that make them happy, that make them feel fulfilled. You know?
Yes. Yes.
Versus like 9 to 5.
I agree.
Okay. So I just want to kind of touch on this thing that I read or found on here on my phone. So according to Psychology Today, they say that the benefits of a career change can include the following: pay growth for women actually peaks around the age of 44. Yeah. Which is crazy to think about. Yeah. 90% of career changers reported feeling happier, less stressed, and successful overall. Period. And 50% of successful career changers saw increased pay. And 72% feeling like a new person after their career change.
I could believe that.
Yeah, I can believe that
too.
I really wish that I had the guts to do that.
And maybe one day you will.
Maybe one day, maybe next year.
Exactly. Maybe one day you will. Maybe.
What do you guys think? I know this probably. Blah, 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 I know I'm trying to say. Okay. What do you guys think that is like the most common like transition or job change that you think about when people think about career change?
Ooh, that's a hard one.
Because I already have one automatically in my head that I'm
like a specific career.
Yeah. Like right now, I feel like right now a lot of people are getting to IT and tech.
Or getting into
it? Or like doing a career change to do that. Like that.
I can see that.
That's what I feel like I'm seeing the most right now.
I don't have like a specific field, but I feel like high stressful positions, they jump from that to something simple like a barista. Or or like a server. I'm not saying that that's like
terrible job level,
but it's like you don't have as much stress as you would in a high position, you know, like
I think I guess to go into deeper context in that is like you're talking about high positions and like maybe
like a corporate job.
Yeah, corporate job. Because a lot of those type of jobs you're honestly still working when you're not working. You have to think about your plans, you have to think about like, you know, your paperwork, and you have to put a lot of your whereas versus like a barista or a server, when you're done there, you clock out, you're done. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah. You know? It's like it's less stuff that you don't take work home with you.
Yes.
And I think that's a big part of it too, especially now like in corporate America, why people, and I'm experienced this too, like in my in my day job, is I know that a lot of people experience burnout or just being like we are spread so thin. And it's like you don't want to think about work when you go home, but guess what, when you go back tomorrow, you know exactly where you're gonna be facing.
Like tomorrow you're like, I gotta wake up tomorrow to go back to that.
I gotta pick up from where I left off from this
versus like what you said, if I'm serving, I know that I can get the food to them, clean up, close the shop, and go home tomorrow,
and you don't have to think about it. Exactly. Now, unfortunately for my job, it's kind of like on the more on the corporate side, okay, like what we just explained. So I do have to do a lot of things when I get home. I bring things home to grade. I think about what I'm going to do for lesson plans and all that, just because we are so limited on our time. And I could be doing that at work, but then it's already after hours, like my contract time, right? However, I have been better I've been better trying to like manage my time with that, and it's something I actually do enjoy. Like it's like I don't push myself to like I have to do this, you know, like I mean like
dreading it.
Yeah, like dreading. Like sometimes I do, because it's a lot, you know, mentally. It's a little draining, not gonna lie. But at the same time,
any job.
That's any job. Yeah. But at the same time, it's like I enjoy doing it. Like I like creating lesson plans. I like getting into the midst of it, you know, like because if I were to feel like I don't want to do it and I don't enjoy doing it at all, I wouldn't still be here. You know what I mean?
Right,
yeah.
So jumping on the other side of it, what would you guys say to people that want to make that jump? Like if you like, what's the like, what do you guys think about like if you were like going to give words of wisdom, not that we are on the other side, but like
what's something you would say,
words of encouragement, or what do you guys think that they could do to possibly bridge that gap to?
I think for me personally, I would not know what to say, because I know myself that I'm not courageous enough to do that jump. Because like,
love that.
Because I know I have a friend that like they're in a management position right now, like a high level management position job.
Yeah.
But like it's so stressful that they're willing to find a new job at a new company and start from the bottom, entry level.
Wow.
And
See,
I'm like
that's
like that
corporate stress.
like that. I'm like, I was telling that my friend, I was like, I like, how are you gonna manage that? Like, and I'm like, you're gonna take a pay decrease, like you're gonna lose like all the experience you had with that job, all the seniority. And it's like, and I'm like, you have experience as management, so why don't you just find a management position somewhere else? But then they're like, no, they would rather just start back at entry level.
I think that speaks to the stress that jobs have.
Also, it does speak to the stress, but I feel like it also, again, speaks to the courage they have to even want to leave.
That's true, too.
It takes a lot, especially.
See, but then, like, this is why I kind of wanted to talk about this topic, because, like, that has been, like, racking my brain, because I'm like, in my head, I'm like, why would anybody want to leave a management job for like entry level? You know,
a lot.
Well, you know what? I think that on the other side of it, like, you should be happy that you don't understand.
Yes. See, that's what I'm like. That's why I wanted to get you guys' input
because you enjoy your work, and I know you enjoy your work.
I love my job. 100%.
Versus someone that doesn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Then it's like it becomes this like almost like a task.
Yeah.
Like you said, like
chore. You have to do
like
it.
you going into a job that you know.
Dread.
That there's basically problems waiting for you already, and you think about it day and night.
I know someone that
anxiety,
did anxiety,
you know, and it's like it's literally just like going into like the worst place, you know, over and over and over and over.
And kind of branching off of that, on my unit the other day, we had like a nurse from a different floor come over, and she asked me, she's like, she's like, when you come to work, do you think like, oh great, here I come, or are you like, I'm happy to be here? And I was like, I'm happy to be here. And like when I said that, everybody was so shocked. They were like, you are? And I'm like, yeah, like I love my job. Like gratitude is the best attitude. I'm happy to be here taking care of these sick people. And then she's like, I love that for you. And I'm like,
you're
thanks.
meant to be a nurse. That's what every nurse's mindset should be like. Especially if you're taking care of people that are sick. Bro, that's a big job.
So, and that's why I'm like, I wanted to bring this topic up to you guys, because in my brain I couldn't rack my head around the thought of why would you leave a high job for a new job, like starting from the bottom again. I'm like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, but then it got me thinking, like,
there's a lot of factors behind
these other people have done that before, and career changes are actually so much more common than we think.
It's like, well, my nya did it. Lisa, remember, she was the manager at the place over here in
Oahu. And
she said,
see, that's like
exactly
that.
Like she would have been a perfect person to like get some take on this. So Lisa, if you're listening, let us know, girl.
Yes.
But she mentioned that it was just like she was a manager position, and it was like stressful, mentally stressful. She didn't like it. And then she took the leap to step away from that, and she said she's the happiest she's ever been.
I love that.
And I love that. And she works from home now. She does whatever. It's so much more flexible. I think in the end, it really comes down to just like your own mental health.
Yeah.
If it's not worth it, don't do it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
And I think like going back to like the advice, like I'm not an expert, but I know that because I'm doing it right now as well. Is like just instead of jumping into it like 100%, like doing it like as a side hustle, or like, a little bit on the side, and maybe when you are able to build it up to where you can do it full time, then you make the jump. But then, so I feel like that's one way you could do it, or you could just, like you said, take two feet and just jump into
forward.
it. My advice. Oh wait, are you done?
Yeah.
Okay. My advice is kind of pretty much like yours, Tatiana. I feel like think logistically and realistically. Okay.
Ooh, that's a good
one. Like you can't.
Can you pay your rent?
Make sure you have some kind
your
of
bills are paid.
My bills are paid. Like just make sure you have some kind of like financial stability before you decide to do that, because I know a few people that they're so quick to doing that, but then it'll come back and bite you in the butt. You know what I'm saying? Like, because, so you just think logistically, realistically, and responsibly before you do that. And I like the idea how Tatiana says, start it a little bit at a time, kind of like on the side, to see how you can ease your way into it.
Or see if you even want to
if you want 100%. To. I think that's the thing. That's a beautiful thing about life and careers in general. Like, you don't have to like automatically quit right now and go over there unless you want to. And if you're very confident in that, then by all means. But then me personally, if I were to ever want to like switch career or like slowly like, you know, explore other things, I will kind of slowly ease my way into it to see if I even like it, for one. And then for two, to see if you know, it could work out for me, you know.
And I also say like continuing education. Like, if you want to get into a field, like look for free classes in your area that pertain to that industry. You know, for like I was saying, like a lot of tech, like see if there are any organizations that are doing like free like IT classes, and maybe you can just dabble in that, you know. But then I also want to add as well, like if you do stuff on the side that does make you happy, away from like your 9 to 5, not everything you do as a hobby has to become a career change. And I think that's my problem too. I'm like, guys, I want to be a nail tech. I want to be
heavy on that.
Heavy on
because like maybe you could do it as little hobbies and side hustles, but it doesn't have to necessarily be work.
Right. Yeah, because I think there's an actual saying too that says like, don't turn your hobby into a career because it won't be a hobby anymore, or something along those lines. Because it's like you're gonna lose your interest in why you actually fell in love with doing it in the first place.
I feel like that you'll also lose your authenticity too, because
then it becomes a task.
And you're not coming from a place of I'm doing it because I enjoy it anymore. I'm doing it because I'm trying to get a check.
So when you think about it,
because you would do it too for a check.
You can do it to a check. So how about switching the flip? Okay, thinking about whatever your career or your job is right now, think of that as a hobby and getting paid. You get a win-win situation. You know what I'm saying?
That's like me right now. I feel like with my job.
How I feel too. Yeah, exactly. Like granted,
must be nice. No.
Dude, that's something. Like that's why I'm glad we talked about this.
Find something.
But I mean that like I agree to that point. Like if you look at it on the flip side, like I feel like you two definitely enjoy what you do, and I feel like me at a certain point I did enjoy what I do, but then I feel like, but then you evolved. There's stepping stones. Like, I feel like you evolved so much to where you're like outgrowing. Right now, you're outgrowing where you're at, and you need like that's not like your home plate. Like you're running the bases still, and you haven't found your home base. Ooh. What do you guys see me doing? Honestly,
I feel like you're a very independent person, so I feel like definitely it's something more the entrepreneurship side, because you love the hustle and bustle so much.
Yes. I mean, you're always so good at like content creating and like so good at promoting and stuff like that. So you could definitely thrive in that entrepreneur side.
But I think that like that's so scary too, because that's not like I'm getting a check every week.
Because you would genuinely enjoy doing that too, though. So it's kind of like, so I don't think I can see you going to the point where you're like, oh wait, now this is getting kind of like stressful for me now. I mean, I feel like it could, who knows, you never know. But then at the same time, you do genuinely enjoy doing
like
that,
the passion.
I
feel like the passion
passionate about that,
similar to your guys'.
There's passion. It's like she's passionate in that field, I'm passionate in this field, you know. So I think that's why do you think about, are you thinking about doing it?
Well I mean, I've been working on it since like the beginning of this year.
Right.
So like
literally just this year.
I think like my eyes opened after everything happened, and I'm just like, well, maybe I can pursue it like as like a career, you know, and I'm just like, there's opportunities that are coming now that where I'm like, I'm trying to set myself up for success, and I think starting small and then who knows, it's like.
Starting small. I mean, you gotta start somewhere.
It won't be a consistent check, but it's like, am I going to be happy? Or you know,
yes. And you have to think about like your support system. Like,
I was just gonna say that.
Yes,
I was
like, if you have
a good support system, then go for it. But like,
you guys think I have a good support system?
Yes. Yeah. But then I feel like, see, like other people who aren't blessed to have that, like, imagine like the thoughts and just like all the things that they have to consider because they can't do that. And
so then they step away from that.
So then they step away from that. And then years pass. Years and years pass.
And then they end up at the hospital and they're like, I
wish I would have done this. I wish I had done that.
Guys, that makes me really sad. Like,
I actually just had like a conversation with somebody that's like, you know, I know that's going through that, you know, and it's really like, it hits me hard, like you said, because they don't have the support. So then they never got the opportunity to do what they always wanted to do. And that's so heartbreaking to me. I was like, shoot, like, I mean, I don't know. It's just I don't know how to approach those type of
like
situations
even
other than just.
I mean, I like for my support system, like Danny, like I told him, you know, like what if I decided to do something different, and you know, he's like, just quit. You know, like
which is so great.
If you want it, like he's like we would struggle for a bit, but I'm like, oh, I mean, I need the money, so you know, like realistically though. But then like I feel very blessed to have that. But just to know that someone's supporting and that is
they got you. Like if you
behind you, you know. It's and also like I think it's great to have if you are looking to make a career change, also to have individuals that are in those career fields or that are like, for example, like entrepreneurs, right? For me, to have people that are experienced in that so that you can lean on them.
Absolutely.
And just like get their insight and like what they did,
relatable.
What didn't work for them, and how you could do it more efficiently and in a more, like you said, logistical way where it won't mess up your whole like
lifestyle.
I would for sure say educate yourself on that field or whatever it is. Have references, people who have been in that field, just so that way you have like those two things to fall back on. Because I feel like if you do go in kind of blindsidedly, like you're not really setting yourself for success.
Yeah, you're not. It could
like at least have a little bit of information, you know.
Right.
Like it's okay to take the leap and do it, but at least know
it's like common
something.
sense.
Yeah, because like even for like Maggie, you know, she's doing nails now.
Now I saw her. She posted that she's at a salon now.
Silver Luna or
Silver Lining.
So
you know, she was a CNA and she made the jump. She made the jump to do nails,
and she's so good at it.
She's so good at it, and I'm like, that's like. I
see
just
something like that.
I'm
like, when I see that, it just because I'm so content with my job that like I don't know if I would ever change my career. That when I see that, it gets me thinking.
Oh, like it kind of got you thinking. Like your brain's like, what else could I do?
Like Nolly, our friend, she's getting into pottery.
I know. I love that. I thought
she was just doing it for fun.
No, she is doing it for fun. But I mean, like how like you can find
new hobbies.
How like you can find new hobbies, and then like what if that hobby actually turns into a side hustle? You know, like
I think if it naturally turns into a hustle and ends up being like a career change, then that's the most
I say go for
fulfilling and beautiful thing ever.
I say, and if it's working out for you, I say go for it.
Yeah,
like, put that all on red. Go for it.
Like, I love that.
You know, like shout out to Mayer.
Hi, Mayer.
Like for her, I feel like that's kind of scary too because you know we've been telling her like just make the jump, but then it's like we don't know the questions, you know,
and we don't know all of the struggles that she is going to go through in the circumstances. We don't know everything that her story. We just see that damn, she's good as fuck at nails, and that like she could make this a career.
Exactly.
But then also like we don't know like what if making it
the circumstances.
Yeah, we don't know the circumstances, and what if making a career actually dies out the hobby for her? Right. You know, like.
It's just you never know, but I think this is a good conversation to have with your people, and like you said, just to like
spark some interest.
Spark some interest in your
I think when you start like feeling tired of going into work, or start feeling like Val said, I don't want to be here.
It's a chore.
That's when you need to start reflecting. Like, am I okay? I think for real. Like, am I okay with living this way and working this job for the rest
of my life,
like forever?
Like, I know we're in this new era of Gen Z and millennials. We are not like our parents that will stay at a job for years and years just for security. Right. I feel like you said, Sadie, our mental health comes first.
Yes.
No matter where you're at, you have to make sure that is number one.
Okay, I wanted to ask you guys, what do you guys think is the percentage of people that makes a career change?
I think you mentioned that earlier, but like you mentioned.
Did I? Not the percentage.
50
career change. I want to say like 60 in the 60s maybe.
Okay, so this is from a different sourcing saying that a recent poll found that half of American employees consider making a career change this year already.
Mm-hmm. I was right.
And 44% are already making the switch.
44? So it's getting up there.
Yeah. So how long is the average career change? So like after someone works in that career, how long are they in there for?
Like how successful it is?
Like how long are they
how long before they jump?
Before they jump.
This one's actually really cool.
Like, are you saying percentage wise or years?
Yeah. What's your percentage? Years.
No. Because they were talking about how long.
I say 2 years.
I say 5.
Damn.
It said 5. Looking at this further, work accounts for roughly 13 years and 2 months of most people's lives.
What?
Yeah.
See?
Because what is the average age that someone changes careers? One number.
Average age of them changing?
Yeah.
Thinking about changing?
The average age that someone decides, like, oh, I'm going to do a career change.
35.
33.
39.
What?
Okay, I mean, that's believable, though. That's
that's almost basically a midlife crisis.
Let me read this for you guys. Yeah. It says, between the ages of 18 to 24, people changes an average of 5.7 times. The average number of jobs between 25 and 34 is 2.4. And then from 35 to 44, the average then decreases to 2.9. And then 1.9 from 45 to 52.
So I guess when you get to a point,
so
where
I feel like 20s to like mid to late 30s,
you're jumping
to later 30s is whenever you do a career change.
Oh, okay.
And it says that it's estimated that most people will have 12 jobs during their lives.
Sheesh. I know some people that have like over like double digits, like triple
already.
Almost.
Yeah.
But see, is
that a job or is that a career? See,
it's a job.
I feel like those are different. Do you think jobs and careers is different?
That's a good question.
Oh, I think it is different. Yeah, jobs are more like maybe like just
like servers,
survival type of thing.
Survival.
Yes. Ooh. Yeah. Clock that.
Clock it. No.
Clock it. Let's unpack that.
Let's unpack that part. Like, ooh, that's something to dive into. Ask yourself, is it a job or is it your career?
Ooh, ask yourself right now. Take 5 seconds.
Okay, really? Let's get in 5 seconds. Go.
Is your job a job or is it a career? Now, if you had to think that long, then you must.
Then, yeah. The silence.
You must do a career change.
Were you silenced or were you silenced? Okay.
Anyways.
Okay, so what do you think? For you, obviously, I know your answer.
I feel my job for sure is a career because I don't know. Like I feel definitely heavy on what you said. I feel like a job is just for survival. Like you're doing it to cash a check.
Yeah. Yes.
You're doing it to cash a check because you know on Friday,
honey, when that paycheck hits,
I got my check.
Versus a career, you're like, yeah, I'm getting paid too, but also you're not just thinking like, okay, I gotta get a check because I gotta go to work to get a check.
It's like a plus that you get paid with it. Like from
yes.
See, y'all are so passionate about your jobs. I really love that.
You're gonna get there, girl.
Okay, and what are you gonna do about it to find your passion for it?
I know what I'm passionate about.
And what are your steps? What are the steps that you're going to do to get to that?
Setting myself up for success. I think the organizing part, making sure that I'm doing research, continuing education for sure.
Love.
That's like what I will always press. Like always trying to learn more and more and more.
I feel like knowledge is power.
Yes. Because you can't expect to be like the best. You're never going to be the best at anything. Continuing to learn, always trying to stay humble.
I will say something I just heard not so long ago too. Was somebody said that
the most successful people are the ones that ask questions.
That's true. What? I mean that's true too, but then like there's a difference between knowledge and wise. Like let me unpack that. Okay, so
say it slower.
Knowledge is different from wise. Being wise, right? Like yes, if knowledge means like you have knowledge, you know this and that. But when you're wise, you've been through it and you kind of like
understand.
have
you can speak to it.
You can speak to it.
Period. Yeah.
Experience it. Yeah. So I'm like. I mean, knowledge is gonna come first. Obviously, you gotta have the knowledge in order to be wise.
Big
that one. There you go.
Big. I can't swear, so I say big.
Girl, put that.
Call her a philanthropist.
Thank you.
Philanthropy.
Oh, maybe you should be a philanthropist.
You know what I could see you doing? Yeah, I feel like I could see you. I don't know, like travel agent. Something carefree.
I would love to be a travel agent, bro.
Because you love traveling and I feel like you're a very outgoing person. I feel like you would eat with that. That way you can get the credits from traveling. Like
I need to stop eating. No.
Somebody told me a long time ago.
Wait, do you guys know that song?
No.
No, absolutely not.
Anyways.
What are you talking about?
Somebody told you a long time ago.
Wow, a long time ago. Somebody told Katie. Oh, Katie Lord.
Katie Lord. Doesn't she have a baby now?
I love her baby.
Oh my God. Thank God for the internet.
She's a mother. Dude, honestly,
if it wasn't for the internet, we would not be connected with anybody. And
She told me a long time ago that she could see me being like a motivational speaker or like counselor or something like that.
I think a school counselor. Can you do that on the side of being a teacher? I
guess you could. But then I will have to be certified and licensed and everything. You know, like definitely school counselor for like kids, because like I would love to do that. But then also eventually maybe like for adults. You know?
Okay, so one thing on that though, I feel like with you, if you were to do that,
I feel like it'll mess you up mentally.
It'll mess you up mentally because there is some traumatizing shit that a lot of these kids go through.
100%.
I feel like that would be good for you, but also that will fuck you up.
I think it would. But then like I feel like that's why it's something that I kind of want to dive into, because I want to
like just help a little taste,
because you're so passionate
about like helping, how I can like help them make it better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like
you want to make an impact.
Maybe you should take some classes about that.
Well, my one of my ex vice principal, she's been telling me, you know, that I should go into, and even my counselor in my workplace, she's like, you know, she's been encouraging me like, yeah, go take some classes, like, you know, and she loves it, you know. So I'm like, eventually, you know, that. But then like, so thinking about the whole, like you said, career change thing, it's got my mind, you know, going to, and and I've been thinking about these things in the past for a while, because originally, I don't know if I mentioned this in the other previous episodes before, but before I went to college at TCC, right? Before becoming a teacher, I originally wanted to be in the beauty industry.
Yes.
Yeah, like I've always wanted to be in the beauty industry because I was always interested in that. It's more in cosmetology, but then now I'm more like in nails too. I do love nails. So I kept telling my year before, I've told my year, every single time I go to her, I tell her that I eventually want to do nails on the side. And like not as my full thing, but then like on the side hustle type of thing, you know? So like, I mean, I'm interested in other things too. It's just the having to like get myself started there, like starting somewhere.
You know what I could see you doing? I could see you for some reason doing like a nonprofit for something children based.
Oh heck yeah, yeah. I've talked about that before too. That's something I would love to do. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, like I'm passionate in all those things. So how did we get there?
I don't know.
Okay.
We just stem.
But then it's still like it goes all in full circle to what Valerie said in the beginning.
We're unhinged sometimes.
What is something that you think that you would be possibly interested in other than what you're doing right now?
Oh man.
Like what is something that you do really enjoy that you feel like it could be like a side hustle or something?
I don't know. I don't know.
She's so technical and like I'm not gonna say easy, but like she's very like simple. Yeah.
Simplicity. So
I don't know, because I don't know, because I don't have anything that I'm like passionate about, or like I have like one hobby that I actually like enjoy. Like I don't know. I like really do,
and that's okay.
Love my job right now. I don't know if I would. Like, I don't know if I could see myself doing anything else. Really.
I honestly, I feel like you're right where you need to
be.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm meant to be a nurse. I'm meant to be where I'm meant to be in my career. Like maybe expanding to becoming a nurse practitioner. I think that's the only thing I can think about is like going back to school to be a nurse practitioner.
Like expanding in your current field.
In my current field.
Oh, yeah.
That's like the only, when I think about like anything job change wise, like that's the only thing I can think about is going back to be a nurse practitioner.
So if you be a nurse practitioner, could you see yourself opening up your own like practice?
Probably not. I don't know, because I love working in the ICU too much. I love taking care of the really, really sick people, making the tough decisions that a lot of people don't want to make, having to understand why their body is rejecting doing this, what changes do I need to do to maintain them to make sure they're alive. And I think my brain just likes like the diving deeper into that.
You know what I would love to see you do, because like you're very passionate about this stuff. I would love to see you do like maybe it is like going back to school, but like research papers just to expand your knowledge.
Yes, I do love learning. I love learning. I love learning and actually love studying. I like in nursing school, like I really did enjoy like studying and learning and having resources into what I'm doing, why I'm doing it.
Yeah. I feel like I would love to see like you go back to school and then do like research papers and like just diving deeper into things in the medical field and like on sicknesses and things like that. I feel like you'd be really good at that.
Kind of like writing like a little like short book or like article about like what with your knowledge and how it's worked out for you. Like I could totally see you like
personal experiences and how you were able to deal with it.
Just to help the people that are coming into the field, you know, like.
Yeah, because Gabby is actually planning to go back to nurse practitioner school. Ooh. And I think she's going to apply for either this coming up fall or next or this coming up spring, and I'm like, oh, that like motivates me to want to do it too. But at the same time, like, my circumstances don't allow me to do that, to go back to school, you know, which is fine, and it's okay. Like, everything will happen in its own time.
Yeah.
But like, that also got me thinking, like, career wise, like, do I really want to be in the ICU if I be a nurse practitioner, or do I want to do something else? Like, I don't know.
And it's okay. You don't have to figure it out right now.
Right.
There's just so many things.
Let me just tell you that, man, midlife crisis is a real thing.
That's what I'm
saying. It's such a real thing, bro.
You know, remember I was telling you guys earlier about like my Google searches? That was one of my Google searches.
Yeah, midlife crisis.
When does midlife crisis occur?
What was the answer?
And it was I think it was like,
ooh, let's look it up.
I think it was 35 to 40.
I knew it was gonna be in the 30s,
but I was like, it has to be 30. I was like, because I'm feeling it. I was like, no way.
I know, it's like,
but it was like a later
time.
Yeah,
really. Midlife
it's like, when do midlife crisis occur?
According to the Washington Post, the average age for midlife crisis, according to a bunch of data that Washington Post gathered, is 42.
Oh my god, see, it was like 35 to 40.
Actually, if you think about it, that kind of makes sense, because
with the career change,
well, just midlife crisis, because like, for me, midlife crisis, thinking about 42, you know who I'm thinking about? First one that pops in my head,
my dad.
Yes.
Wait, that's only 40.
No, my dad is 50 now. He's like 55, I think,
something.
or 53.
Like my dad just turned 50, and I'm like,
but I'm saying, like, I remember when my dad was around that time, like 40 something, and he was going through a midlife crisis.
I mean, he still is.
He still is, but I mean, he was, because he was, career wise, he was a welder. Like, he did welding. That's all he did. He went to school to do welding,
and he's like, wait, I don't want.
Yeah, and then he's like, I actually fucking hate being a welder. And so I think he left to get like his degree in like pastor something.
Oh. Yeah.
And now he has a degree in that. And like, he's a deacon, I think that's what they call it.
I think so.
Yeah. And so,
for the church.
Yeah. But then now it's like, he's doing something totally different. Now they're about to own.
Now they're going to be entrepreneurs.
They're entrepreneurs, and they're going to own their own little hotel. So it's like, well, I mean, hey, shit.
Maybe it is around that time. Who knows? Yeah. Maybe it just hits harder whenever you're around that time, because right now we're thinking about it. We're dabbling into it.
We're dabbling.
But then I think the actual, like, it'll probably hit us around that
jump.
Time.
That's why maybe not a lot of people make the jump until that.
Until it gets
because
so
they're like,
bad.
makes sense. Midlife crisis. Okay,
yeah.
We just figured out the formula. We just figured out the formula from earlier.
The limit does not exist.
We literally just figured it out.
But then also, like, like, life is just like so hard, and it's everybody's first time living it. When you think about it like that, like,
I don't like that.
It's everybody's first time.
We always expect like
somebody to know
the answers, and it's like,
it's their first time.
It's their wisdom, but it's like,
it's because everybody's life is different. Everybody has the like written path for them. Yeah, I think it's like. Everybody's path is written for them, so you can't just kind of like tell them like how your path has been, like, you know what I mean? It can be relatable, but not to a T, down to a T.
Everyone's like
life
words
is so
of it
different.
It's like loose advice, because you can take it as like guiding knowledge.
Take it with a grain of salt.
Yeah, guiding knowledge, but then it's like your circumstance is totally different. So you can take it, but it's like, is your path going to end up the same? No, it's not.
It's not.
Yeah. Okay, my closing remarks on this is, if you are going to do a career change, I say all the power to you, because it is so freaking scary that I would think, because you're literally going to the unknown. But like Sutiana said in previous episodes and all episodes before, the unknown and like the scariness is where all that growth happens.
Absolutely.
So if you're considering a career change, or you're going through one right now, I say more the power to you, and just keep pushing on, and there's always a light at the end of the tunnel.
Period.
Mine is similar to that. I just want to say, be mindful and be prepared for any downfalls, because you never know. It could happen. It could very much possibly happen. So be prepared for that, and think very logistically and responsibly before you do it. But
just a side note on that, you know how you said be prepared. Have you guys heard that saying where it's like, when everything is going good in your life and then your car breaks down, it's like your worst enemy? Yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to say that.
Okay. I heard something similar. Like, everything's going great, but then the next thing you know, like, the check engine light comes on. Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, yeah, that does tie into that. So that's what I would say. But all power to you too. Like, by all means, like, I am proud of you for even considering it. But just think, realistic about this.
Sustainably.
Realistically,
sustainably.
Have some kind of backup plan just in case.
I like that backup plan. My words of wisdom are to do your research before you decide to jump 110%.
Yes.
And then also start little. Like it doesn't hurt to start little and then build it up to maybe one day compensate or even compensate further than what your current career already is. So definitely further education, starting small, and then doing your research on what you want to possibly jump to.
Yeah. You guys know what I just realized?
What?
I do kind of have something like that because I enjoy education at like my part-time job. And yeah, maybe I will start doing that.
I'm telling you. You're already so knowledgeable.
I just remembered
so maybe in the end you become a professor.
Professor, yeah, honestly, because you already have all the knowledge, and then by the time you're a professor, you're gonna be wise.
Well,
damn, we are gonna solve world peace, guys. We came in with the question,
and we found
left with answers.
I would love to hear your thoughts on career changes, or if you are going through one, if you've considered one. Have you been through one,
or has this sparked some kind of maybe questions in your mind,
or some thoughts? You know what I mean?
Let us know.
Let us know. And thank you guys so much for listening or having us play in the background, watching us. We appreciate you.
As always, we upload a new episode every Monday at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can find us at 116th Hotline right here on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
As always, feel free to DM us with any topic requests, or if you want to sponsor the podcast, we are always open for that as well. And thank you guys so much.
We'll see you next week.
Stay tuned. Bye.
Bye.